BKB. You don't necessarily need a Basher.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, how is he looking in terms of goals getting towards that? He's still going to be a ways away from it if he wants to go towards it. And by that time, the tier 2 tower gets taken away by Team Spirit. He might be able to move themselves down to take this last tier 2 tower on the bottom lane as well. You can see that Malady as well as Nicky Cool, they're trying to do the best to push this lane out. And this tier 2 tower for the Radiant still stands after all the pressure that the Broodmother was putting on. After all the pressure, you know, even the Treant rotating down to put the pressure on, help these creeps push out like this with the Nature's Grasp. It's just, they still haven't been able to take this tier 2 tower on the bottom lane.
Another way of both initiation and save is the Axe on the Snapfire. That's also something nice.
Radiant's top tower's taking a hit. How about that?
And they get Nicky Cool. Okay.
Radiant's top tower's
Just,
hurting.
yeah, no, I'm looking at Navi and I'm thinking, what the hell do you do? They are split pushing the side lanes. That's what they should be doing. But Team Spirit are smart enough to understand that they can just poke the high ground. They can jump in and kill a hero and get out with all the 4 stabs they have.
Look at this mirror. It's going to be thrown in by the... Oh, it might cost him his life. No, the cookie comes out. V-Tune trying to do what he can. He has to use the hookshot defensively. But yeah, that's going to be the Aghanims coming out for the Snapfire now as well. So he does have the Gobble Up and the Spit out to send someone like the Clockwork in. Doesn't even need the hookshot. Can just use that, drop the cogs on anyone he gets close to. And this is going to be another avenue here for Team Spirit to close the gap and start the fight. And NAVI, they can't even fight underneath the tier 3 tower. You see them pulling back. The Living Arm is only going to do so much for this tower before it gets taken down. And they don't want to fight into this Aegis, it doesn't seem.
And that's a tier 3 that falls in the mid lane and you have a Tiny. Usually teams are gonna not want to push the mid lane when they're up against the Tiny, because they know that the toss back into tier 4s is going to be detrimental. But with so many ways to reposition themselves, Spirit are quite okay, and they're staying here to protect the triangle.
Yeah, Yatoro blinks in, the hookshot comes through now as well into Sweden Strong. Nicky Cool, he's already used that BKB. Yatoro, what's he going to be able to do here? Because Mira's going to be getting down low, but the cogs comes out, they take down Sweden Strong, a 1-for-1 trade. But Yatoro, he wants to carry on going, the overgrowth going to be used, but Yatoro, he's going to be cleaning up, takes down Malady.
You just don't care if you're Team Spirit right now. There's Larl is fast enough that he can TP to the bottom lane. You know that Navi have to go through the triangle. You're protecting him, and Larl will be there fast. It's not gonna take as long as it did for Yatoro to come back into the fight. If you remember the mid lane fight, the triangle is closer to the bottom lane, and Larl was already pushing out a little bit further, so it was so easy for him to connect. Now when he's on top, Navi could go for a play, or they should go for a play. The problem is they are missing some of the key abilities, BKB and the lasso being the main one.
Yeah, and that lasso is still about a minute away. V-Tune, he's got his own BKB. About 500 gold from getting the Basher as well. It looks like he does want to be going towards the Basher. You know, that is going to be the next big item if he can get to it. And Yatoro, how's he looking? He's already got himself the Abyssal Blade. So the difference between the two carries here, you're looking at nearly over 8,000 gold difference between the two carries. That's going to be half of the net worth difference between the two teams themselves. And when the hookshot comes in, Nicky Cool gets caught out. Split Earth's going to be there now as Yatoro gets gobbled up, spit out, and claims the kill on Nicky Cool.
They saw Larl be on the top lane. They thought they couldn't fight, and probably wasn't the case because you're going into an Aegis with some of your spells missing. So they're like, okay, we can outpush the bottom lane. The thing is that it takes so long. In your mind, it might not be that much, but it takes so long that Larl gets his Boots of Travels back. He rotates to the bottom lane where his team is waiting. It's just way too easy to catch out the Battle Rider. One thing about the Spirit lineup is they do have a Clockwork, so Division game is always going to be on their side.
Yeah, and Yatoro as well, he's started onto it. In fact, I think he's, if we look at his courier, that's his axe completed. He wants that Swift Blink to come out next, but Yatoro, he's going to have the extra cooldown on the Enrage, and you can use it while disabled. So, what can Navi can't fight into this?
No. He is just gonna go forward. He jumps in, whoever he wants, and even if you lasso him, you're not gonna be able to kill him. Hex is something that can be a problem for Yatoro.
Look at this. Malady right in the corner. They do get the toss back though. They might be able to get themselves onto the Ursa, but the Ursa just turns around with the Abyssal Blade with that a massive amount of damage here on the Ursa. Lotus is being used as well. Mira turns around with the... I mean, he's still gonna be trapped in for a little bit. So it's a decent defense. The Lasso, the drawback now as well. Do they have enough to take down the Ursa? No. The Lasso, they've already got the enrage off on Yutaro, and Yutaro's going to be able to take down V-Tune, or is he? He's still going to be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Doesn't matter, 3 heroes go down. Spirit overrunning this game, and GG is going to be called. Na'Vi, they give up the second game, 32 minutes in, 19-9, and after a great start, they just could not keep up with the Ursa.
I was saying, yeah, Hex might be a problem for him, but the thing is, he had the Titan Sliver and the SNY, so that's 36% status resistance, so you're always going to be getting your ulti off, and we saw there with the overwhelming difference in gold, there was just no chance for Na'Vi. I think the second they didn't use the Blink Dagger of the Tiny, it was the problem. They had a lineup that's good at slowing things down, that they could get a troll to that point where he's actually not going to die, and that jump in run out from Team Spirit just isn't going to be working against him. But V-Tune got slowed down. You didn't create any space for him. You got pulled into 1 or 2 fights that you didn't want to, and it was enough for Team Spirit's victory. Yeah,
and I'm going to go back to it. I'm not 100% convinced. In fact, I'm 100% convinced now that troll was not the pick in the draft after seeing that game. 0 kills, 4 deaths, 9 assists, so he got some impact in the fights, but it just didn't seem like V-Tune had the... I mean, it's hard to have the amount of impact that something like an Ursa has in the fights anyway, but V-Tune, and I'm not put it down to play skill, I don't think it was the right hero for this draft.
Yeah, you're very good at applying logic. I think you should move to science. You know, yeah, but yeah, the troll definitely didn't work out, and I agree with you 100% on that one. It's just, as I mentioned, you don't have a lot of lockdown. Troll is very hard to make work, and when I saw him going for the Basher, even if you give him a Basher and you give him a Satanic at that point, it's not going to work out. He needed to be on top of items, at least on par with Ursa in terms of net worth. Maybe not ahead, maybe slightly behind, but get those items that he can't die. Yeah. But the second that they started falling in terms of damage, the game was just impossible for them.
Yeah, but guys, that does mean that we go to a game number 3, so we're going to go all the way in this first series here between Na'Vi and Team Spirit. We're going to be taking a quick break before that happens, though, so stick around and we'll be back with the third and final game of Na'Vi versus Team Spirit right after this.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.